This is our interview with Sewer Cats. I love this band. If you haven't checked them out yet, definitely do. You know, they put so much into their songs. It's not just punk. There's so many influences, so many turns. They're funny. Their lyrics are clever. I mean, they're the whole package. And yes, my shirt did come, as well as some cool stickers. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
I'll be happily wearing that.
So take it away. Well, thanks for doing this. It's great that we were able to hook up. I've been really loving the record. I love the name of it, Obnoxious. It got me right away. So
Yeah, I love your style. I love, I love sprints, believe me. I love their stuff. But I love the humor and the sarcasm that you guys throw into
that's,
it.
yeah.
It adds like a whole new level for me, and I just love it.
Yeah, I love the videos. We'll get into all
In
that.
fact, I think I have a shirt.
Ah, well, how did you guys originally come together as a band? Were you always a duo, or did you have other members at some point, or what?
So our story is that we've known each other since we were kids, and we were in bands together when we were teenagers. And then we had a big gap where we didn't do anything at all. And we always thought, yeah, it would be really, really cool to like do just like a project, just us two. And so, yeah, we kind of started Sewer Cats about 5 years ago, just to kind of scratch that itch, really.
Yeah.
Did you have a worst band you guys were in when you were younger that it was just like not working at all?
We can't tell you the names of it.
Yeah, we were in a couple of bad
Terrible,
bands actually. Yeah, I like. In fact, yeah, like the bands that we were in were pretty awful, weren't they?
Bad,
yeah. And yeah, so like it's nice to kind of have a proper go at it now, actually.
Definitely.
Really.
It's no. It's not good when in the middle of practice, three people are in fisticuffs. You're like, this is not productive.
Right.
You know?
Right. Exactly.
Although, I mean, it worked for Jane's Addiction. It got him all kinds of attention, right?
It did. Yeah, that's true. Not the good kind, though.
So have you always been drumming and singing? That always seems like the hardest combination. And you're a triple threat. You write, you drum, you sing.
Yeah, so yeah, like when we were younger, I just played drums. I didn't do any singing. And really I started singing in Sewer Cats just out of necessity because, we needed someone to do the vocals. So yeah, and like once I started, I found that it came like quite naturally. And yeah, I find it I always say, like, people ask me all the time about how can I do it, but I think it looks way harder to play guitar and sing. Like I feel like that looks way harder to me.
Yeah.
Josh, how long have you been playing guitar, and did you have formal training, or are you kind of self-taught?
I started when I was about 14, I think, so quite a while. But yeah, no formal training. I just like my brother, my older brother, like showed me how to play a bit and sort of learned from that. And he actually probably taught you how to play drums a bit.
Yeah, he was really encouraging, like for drums as well. Like he was a drummer too, and so he showed me quite a few things too. And yeah, really, like Josh's brother has been like really instrumental.
The sort of older brother that feeds you all these records, so
Yeah.
you get into all these cool
Yeah.
I would never have done at that age.
Yeah.
So
And he's in a band in the DIY scene now as well. So like we tour together and do stuff together, and that's really, yeah, really fulfilling to do that.
So do you remember, Josh, what was like one of the first songs you learned to play all the way through when you were learning guitar?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe like TVI by the Stooges.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah.
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 So I don't know. Like I just sort of go dabble in and out. Like I don't really play along. I never used to actually play along to that, to other bands that often. It was more just jamming together with other people. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like from really, really early on, like when I could hardly really play at all, we would like jam together. Like yeah, Josh and his brothers, like he's got two brothers, both of which like play instruments. And yeah, like us kids would like just always play together. And like I think we learned to play off each other like really yeah, like a really early age. And I think that's like sort of set us up well, didn't it, for now.
I remember in college one weekend, I holed myself up in my bedroom and I learned the entire Ramones Leave Home album from front to back. It took, like, I came out of the room like emaciated and starving because I hadn't even like eaten anything, but I had accomplished it. You know, it was like one of these senseless goals. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think mine was Smoke on the Water because it was 3 chords. I was like, all right, I got this.
And this was on the organ, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, her parents wanted her to play the organ. Yeah.
I wanted a guitar. They got me an
Oh.
organ, and I was in 10, right? And it's like in the 80s. You know, insert your organ joke here.
Yeah.
So I was going to play Broken Wings on it. So I'm like,
Mister,
and
yeah.
I tried to do the dun dun on the pedals, right?
Yeah.
No, it just wasn't going right.
I played the trumpet first, which was a bit weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like my parents wanted me to play like classical stuff. So
You could have gone in a whole ska direction, you know.
yeah, no.
If only you liked Sky.
If only I liked ska, then that'd be
Yeah. I'm not a fan either. No. So who came up with the name of the band? It's such a great name.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, so it's just like something like we had the name first actually before we'd even tried writing a song. So like when we go on holiday, we always kind of seek out the stray cats wherever we go.
Okay.
And like we used to call them the sewer cats. So we'd be like, oh, where are the sewer cats? And then we were like, that would be a good name. So yeah, we called ourselves that.
You must have cats yourselves.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How many do you have?
So yeah, we currently have one cat. She's asleep upstairs. And yeah, she was the face of our previous album. So our first album was her face on the cover. The obnoxious cat is actually Josh's brother's cat called Lucille. And yeah, he has 2 cats, Marvin and Lucille, and that's Lucille on the cover.
Yeah, we've decided if podcasting doesn't work out and we have to form a band, we're going to call our band Skank Fragment. That's our
very nice.
Our moniker. Yeah. It's kind of like yours where you know it's obnoxious, but you don't know what kind of music it's going to be. That's
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Exactly. And do you 2 have cats too?
Oh yeah, we got 3. We had 4, but one, our Calico passed away last year. Yeah.
She was getting low up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got our Russian Blue as our most obnoxious. He's just, we were looking at houses and we had all, you know, the printouts, and he just started to throw up on all of it. I'm like,
he didn't like any of them apparently.
Okay.
He was like 4 bedrooms. Bleh, that'll never do, you know. So I don't know. He's very pukey. Russians are very, very pukey cats. So, you know.
I didn't know that about them.
Oh yeah. At least ours is, you know.
No, and the rest of ours are just, you know, domestic alley cats, and you know that, you know, but they don't like outside. I don't know. Yours don't like outside.
Yeah, his name's Vladimir, and we'll just hear him puking in somewhere in the house, and then we get to play the fun game of find the cat puke. So fun, you know. Well, you know, it's somewhere, you know. Oh God.
So you had some obnoxious pet photo. You were like, I love how you were like, when did it peed outside the box? Who was the winner of that, and what the photo looked like?
Oh, who won?
I can't remember the name. There were quite a lot of entries, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a lot of entries, and we did pick the winner at random. So like, it wasn't necessarily the most obnoxious. But I think the cat that won was kind of pulling like a sort of like cheeky face, kind of going like, wasn't it? Her tongue out. So yeah. But yeah, it was really fun, like actually to see people's photos, and yeah, nice competition.
What do you 2 independently find the most obnoxious thing that happens on a daily basis?
Wow.
You're quite obnoxious, aren't you?
Some people do say that. I think like something that Josh always says is obnoxious about me is that I have like a very loud speaking voice. Okay. So like when I'm around the house, I'm just like, no. And you're quite often like, shush, like, you know, like the neighbors can hear you talking, like, because I just, when I get into a story, like I talk very, very loud and very enthusiastically. But you know, like my loud voice is why we've got the sewer cat.
Exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that's an obnoxious habit of mine. But yeah, like I think like the cat is also very obnoxious.
Yeah.
She's very sort of like, when she wants attention, she will just start eating something that she's not supposed to eat, so that you'll just go, stop it, you know, and give her attention. So yeah.
Random bouts of rage,
Yeah,
attacking,
she also
biting.
attacks people all the time.
So
I had a hard time thinking of what Stace does that's the most obnoxious, and I finally did. When she vacuums, she almost kills me with the cord every time. 'Cause she'll
Right.
pull it tight like a tripwire
I
over the stairs, and I've almost gone ass over teacups a few times. So that's the only thing I can think of is she's trying to kill me with the vacuum.
I try to get as far as I can without having to replug it in, right? So I'm like
I have
3 rooms over.
I've gone as far as like I grabbed the railing, like I was like literally like I was heading down, you know. So if you ever hear that that I've been severely injured in a fall, that's probably why. You know.
Yeah, have you got life insurance?
Oh my God.
We do. I'm covered. At least I have that. If I'm in a body cast, you know. So, yeah.
Me, I'm always tripping over the dog because we have this little dog too. And
Yeah, he's a Yorkie.
when I'm cooking, he's like constantly, he's on patrol. Like I might drop something and I forget and I go to turn and the next thing you know, you're
Yeah,
like,
we both are always tripping on him. Yeah. He's a scrounger. Yeah.
So I really love your blend. You have some grunge in there. You even had that one country post rock.
Oh, I love that one.
How,
Yeah.
how do you decide? Is it kind of the song's mood and what kind of other things you're going to throw in, or how does that work?
Like we just like to mix things
yeah,
up.
I
don't
think like we
we?
have the attitude of like anything goes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anything you want in punk. It doesn't have to be, 3 chords, or it can be,
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. So just see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for that
Right.
one, the country one, I think did I just start playing the riff or something?
I think we started with the lyrics with that
Yeah.
one, and then yeah, it just really fit, didn't it? And it's often like, to do with what we've been listening to at that time, that like, influences seep in, don't they? And then you think, oh, let's give this a go. So I think that's the beauty of just being a two as well, that you can like kind of go down these different avenues like for your own amusement, and it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if it's like a dark song, like the cast often comes up with the lyrics first. If it's like dark, then I'll be like, right, like some, I'll play some dark music to go along with it, if in a way,
Yeah, just see what fits.
Yeah, if you're really pissed off, it might be like a hardcore sort of track, So yeah, just anything really.
And I love how you'll go in and out of moods. Like it'll be real raucous and then it's kind of dreamy and quiet and then back. It makes a really good, interesting transition. Because at first I was like, am I on a different song? I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really like to do that. Yeah.
So it looks like Cute Aggression was recorded around the time of the pandemic. Was the process kind of the same or different when you did Obnoxious?
It was a little bit different. I think by its nature, like Cute Aggression was quite like a pandemic influenced record. And yeah, quite introspective. And like we had the time at home to kind of write it in one chunk. So yeah, and like we very consciously, I think once we realized, we're going to be stuck in for a while, we were like, let's do an album. And we very like kind of consciously worked on it, and it actually really like gave us something to focus on, didn't it? Whereas Obnoxious has been more time in the making because we've been gigging as we've been writing. So I think the entire kind of writing process took a lot longer, maybe over kind of 18 months rather than just a few months to do Cute Aggression, really.
Yeah, there's this horrible Steel Panther-ish metal song called Cute Aggression. It's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
You know it. Okay. Yeah.
I was running one day and that Spotify picked that. I'm like, oh, no.
I do think we get a few more streams because of people looking for that song, though. So I can't complain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to have a little. We were talking about the typo thing. Like we should have called this show the Taylor Quinn show.
That's right, because there's a band that we reviewed called ADD/C, ADDC. And I
Mhm.
thought they're going after the typo market. That's what they're
Yeah.
doing. They're going to get all kinds of drunk AC/DC fans by mistake. So yeah. So I want to ask you about the gigs. Are they like house parties, or like how have the gigs been? Have been pretty good attendance, pretty good tour? Yeah.
It just like varies, doesn't it? But I think this tour has been really, really good. So like we had our like home show to like release the record, and that was that was sold out. So that was really cool.
Great.
And then like we've been around various like venues across the country.
A lot of breweries.
A lot of breweries.
Breweries.
Yeah,
Okay. Can't beat that.
that's like
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah.
And like it's been mostly busy. You have
Yeah.
one or two where it's like just a man and a dog, occasionally, but that's
good, though.
part of the fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been really good, this tour. And then we're planning to go to Europe in March. And we have played there once before. Like we've been on a tour to tour Cute Aggression, and we're gonna hit some of the spots that we went to before. I just feel like in the UK, we don't turn out as well as the Europeans. The Europeans like go hard, especially the
Midweek.
Germans.
On a Monday. Just
Yeah,
go for it.
they're just like there.
Yeah. We've heard that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
You know, when the gigs are sparse, though, you can call people out. You can be like, "You leather jacket in the back there, get off your phone. We're fucking playing music here." Like that would be great. Like the D. Snyder thing. You can call people out. You
Well,
get
we
them
always-
you too. Something
always
like that.
make sure that like even if there aren't many people there, we will like still do the show like 100%, because I always like take the view that like the people that are there aren't to blame for the people that aren't there.
Right.
So like,
Right.
I kind of think, well, they deserve like the full show, so they're gonna get the full show. And like also, like we always just think, well, it's just like it's me and you, we're gonna do it. So yeah, like it doesn't matter who's there really.
I don't even know if there's anyone there or not. Like I'm just completely lost in it.
Yeah.
Like I have a good time regardless. So
Yeah, I remember sometime in the early 2000s, I went and saw Zeke, and it was like on a Tuesday night, and they were so good, and there was like 12 people there, and I was like so embarrassed for Baltimore. I was just like, this band is amazing, and I actually said to the singer, I said, "I'm sorry, you should have more people here." And he goes, "Do you have any drugs?" And I was like, Good
Funny enough,
answer, though.
they're in Manchester this week.
"Oh, are they? Okay, great."
Yeah,
Great.
later this
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, I love your stage presence, Josh. I love like the dances you go into, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're so, I could see you're just like so into it. I could see where you're in your own zone.
Yeah.
Did you kind of come up with that whole kind of thing yourself, or does it kind of help you when you're playing to just kind of zone?
yeah, I mean, like a part of it was I think like two pieces have a bit of a problem because it can be a bit static. Cass is like the front person stuck on the drums, and so it was like I should probably get into it a bit more. But it's like I just feel like once I get going on stage, I just have so much energy, I just can't stop myself. So
You're in the zone. Yeah.
and I just
Oh,
I
but
whether
it's such a
there's
great presence.
whether there's one person or like 100 people or whatever, like I'm exactly the same.
Yeah, and like often
regardless.
Josh doesn't like notice what's going on in the crowd.
No,
I
I don't
have
even know if they
I
liked
have to
it.
tell him like, oh yeah, this happened, and he's like, really?
Yes, so just anything goes. For that. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do each gig, but just whatever I feel like at the time.
You're like Josh. Even the bartenders left.
Yeah.
So I love how your brand is like, I was reading some review where somebody called you political. I'm like, they're not political, really. You're more like the human condition, or maybe a little social commentary. What do you think is the most political song you have?
Probably a really specific one to like a very specific like kind of UK thing was one that we released on Cute Aggression, which was called Shit in Your Hands and Clap. And it was about seeing like Tory politicians go outside during the pandemic on a Thursday night at 8 o'clock when we had this thing called Clap for Carers. And like basically the idea was that you would go out onto your doorstep and like clap and stuff to like thank like nurses and doctors and carers like for their service during the pandemic, which like, you know, is a lovely idea, but it's very empty, you know, if your policies are not actually helping at all,
Right.
if you've defunded the National Health Service and all of those things. So I think that was like our most pointed political song.
Yeah.
But I think like what you say is interesting, that like it's you know, like social commentary I think is mostly what we're kind of delivering. But you know, everything is political in my opinion. Personal things are very political. And so yeah, I would consider us like a political band, broadly speaking. Yeah.
Who's the one? Who's the one that does the? I think Josh is about to get shot. What's the name of that?
Oh, the pink one.
Yeah. What's the name
I'll
of it?
think of it in a minute.
She's a Kerrang darling too.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think. Your music reminds us of it.
Queen.
Screen Queen. Your music reminds us of Screen Queen a little bit.
Okay.
Same type of skewering social commentary
Like
with
that.
with a lot of humor. With a lot of humor. Yeah.
And we just
Yeah.
need a pink outfit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I just a few track questions. I love You Cannot Be Serious. I love the rant.
Oh, yeah.
Was it kind of directed to one person or kind of like just society as a whole?
It's a very specific situation. Probably shouldn't go into more detail than that. But yeah, it was a very specific person or thing. And like, but like an allowing of myself really to kind of use that situation as a starting point and then to kind of push it further and see where it went, you know, and to, yeah, sort of explore the kind of, you know, like I sort of always describe it as like the Moorishness of kind of dwelling on those things and sort of how it can feel quite delicious, I suppose, to kind of dwell with your vengeful thoughts.
Well, we said revenge is a dish best served cold, but I can never wait till it cools off.
Yeah.
Also, I love Get It. Oh my God, that is so great. I love the idea of like, because we were just talking today about how out of control gender reveals have gotten, you know? I had all my kids in the 90s.
Gender reveals. They are the worst.
It's so obnoxious. Oh my
God. They really are. Like, yeah. I just think what a thing that we've invented. Like, what is this? Yeah.
You know what the worst one I found is the people do a gender reveal and then the color's green because the reveal is they're not going to reveal. I'm like, okay.
That makes no sense at all.
Okay. Yeah. That is an anticlimax, isn't it?
Yeah.
For everyone. Really.
Just wasted everybody's time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Glad we got everyone gathered. We're not telling you.
That's obnoxious.
Yeah, that's obnoxious.
That's obnoxious. It is, yeah. But
I love how, you know, kind of like the whole video is a play on like, you know, your social media presence. That was awesome. So in which ways do you disagree or agree with some lectures that you've gotten from people in the past?
What do you mean by that? Like,
well, I noticed about you should get a proper job. I mean, you know, we hear that quite frequently.
Okay, so yeah, so like Get It, I think again, like Get It is like quite a specific like cultural reference. Like that, I think it may have been quite UK specific actually. So like a lot of some of the song is a quote from like a kind of influencer that we have in the UK called Molly May, who was on a program called Love Island, which I don't know if you've heard of Love Island, but yeah, but like since Love Island, she's kind of become like a sort of fashion influencer. She has like a clothing line that is quite well known to be made by like kind of forced labor. So like the people that are making this clothing line are very, very underpaid, and like a lot of dodgy practices going on in the factory and stuff like that. And she
Right.
basically said, well, you know, everyone can be as successful as me. Like we all have the same 24 hours in the day. You could be as good as me if you just worked a bit harder.
Oh
So
my.
that was her kind of shtick, basically.
Yeah.
So I kind of took, and understandably, there was quite a big backlash against this, and she was quite, you know, she was criticized for it. And like, so yeah, the song was inspired by that, and also some comments from our very short-lived Prime Minister Liz Truss, who only lasted what couple of weeks or, or whatever, who was very like, you know, had a lot of rhetoric about, you know, you need to just work harder, you need to get proper jobs, and then you can pay your heating bills. Like, it's just, you know, the reason why you can't pay for your heating is because you're not working hard enough, and you need to grow the economy, and then everything will be fine, she said, whilst simultaneously crashing the market. So yeah, so that song kind of takes some quite specific references, I guess, and then kind of recycles them. And also I think passes comment on something that I suppose in like my work life, I'm sort of around a lot of kind of aspirational content from like other women, and that's very sort of driven towards young women about kind of manifesting what you want from the world and it will be given to you. So it's kind of like a sort of take on that culture, which I find pretty toxic, I guess.
Yeah. It's funny, your stories about what inspired that song reminds me. There was no internet, but remember when Mariah Carey said she feels so bad for the starving children in Ethiopia, but of course it would be great to be skinny like that, but not with all the flies and death and stuff. Do you remember when she said that? That was
I
like
don't remember that,
1993,
but that is
like 93 or
something
something.
else, isn't it?
Can you imagine?
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
her handlers were probably like, shut up,
Yeah.
Mariah, gosh.
Mariah, yeah.
I loved the video for that one too. Were you able to do the knocking the frappe out of your hand in like one take?
I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. And then I knocked it on Cass, and then she just did this horrible like scream, and I just thought like I'd really upset her, but of course she was just
It's
acting.
called acting, Josh.
I just like I kept it up to like, oh no, you okay?
Yeah, you can see his face kind of go like in the video, like where he's like, oh no, she's gonna be
He's
pissed.
concerned.
He's gonna be annoyed about this. But no,
You have
it's
to like cut it.
and it's because I'm a professional, Josh.
Yeah, those are the moments in videos that you really gotta own it, Yeah.
Yeah, I loved you yakking into the thing when after you did your kale drink.
Oh, the kale drink.
Oh yeah, our nephew who's 5, he loves that bit. He loves anything to do with being sick. So he's like, can I watch Auntie Cass being sick in the bit?
Oh, that's great. Oh.
Also love Boohoo. That was another good one. Did you kind of like do the Kleenex spontaneously, or was that planned? I love that part.
Yeah, just like I think that one was quite. Yeah, we just sort of went to shoot it and did it really, really quick. Actually, we just kind of wanted to make it colorful and fun and just, a little bit snarky and stuff. So yeah, like the Kleenex one, we were just like, yeah, let's have a go at that. Yeah.
I love it. That song is to be the anthem for Karens everywhere. It's like, I can think of so many of them. I work with the public and I work in a doctor's office, and on a daily basis, I'm like,
yeah, the stories are
and
there's so many
people on a daily basis. This is what I do with my life. Completely
crazy. I know
that.
So, I really love the term big pussy energy, considering, the whole Trump thing over here. I don't want to talk about it. We're having an election this week. I actually had a patient say to me, oh, because they have to come back this week, and they're like, oh, November 5th. I don't know if I'll be around. And I'm like, why are you having a procedure? She's like, no, that's election day. I don't know what mood I'll be in. I'm like, okay.
Oh God.
Hey,
Yeah.
and how are you two feeling about that?
I
We
just,
don't like either one of them.
well, we don't like either one of them, but I mean, I went back about a month ago and I watched like the old debates, like Mondale versus Reagan and or whatever, like from the, and they were I just struck me, they were so civilized and they let each other finish and they didn't talk over each other. And it was all about the issues. I mean, Trump ruined all that. Now it's like Jerry Springer,
God, it's like
Yeah.
it's so ridiculous. And everybody's constantly throwing mud. It's like, I thought this was about making a better country, not who could zing the most
Yeah.
stuff at the other
I was really
person.
disappointed when I found out he was actually going to run again because in the US, the effect has been people fist fighting at family barbecues is what it's been.
NASCAR events,
It's
yada,
ridiculous.
yada.
I mean, it's like, and the thing is, it never changed anything that trickled down to our level. Like we had him, we had Biden. Nothing changed for us. I mean, it was just, they're just fighting about nothing. It's ridiculous.
No,
It used to be you didn't bring up politics or religion, but now it has to be like your bumper sticker. Like you have to put it out there right away. I hate it.
I hate people who make political posts. I'm not going to
I
do
hate
it.
Yeah.
It's just inviting Karens and everything else in. So, I'll probably do some throwaway protest vote.
Yeah.
It's sad,
We're
but
just
I
not,
can't.
we're not very political people. So,
It's tough.
yeah.
But anyway,
I'm sure it was the same with you guys in Brexit and all that. I'm sure you felt the same way. There's fist fights in the backyard over that, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, I think like, in the UK, like there's been a lot of divisive, issues in the last few years. And I hope we're going into like, a little bit more of a period where people can talk about things in a bit more constructive way, perhaps. But yeah, like it's certainly been like, you've seen families like divided and communities divided because of very kind of charismatic people telling them a load of lies, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really worrying to see that. And we've definitely seen a rise in fascism in this country and in Europe. And yeah, it's really, really worrying. So yeah, I think we've got to be kind of alert to that and yeah, try and show compassion and empathy to each other as much as possible. But yeah, also like try and do the right thing by these things, I suppose. And yeah, we'll see. We have had a change of government, but we haven't seen a change in sort of important things as yet, have we? So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we had the folks from Lesbian Bed Death on the show, and he was telling us some really interesting stuff about how Brexit, how ridiculous it has affected things like the price of shipping, and moving shipping merch and moving, going from gig to gig and traveling across Europe because you're not part of the EU anymore, and how it affects the band. And it's really interesting because I hadn't thought about that, but when you hear it from that standpoint, you're like, God, what a stupid move that was,
Yeah,
Because,
it's just a really nonsensical, stupid thing that the country did to themselves, basically.
Right.
Based on like very kind of negative sentiment towards like minority groups, really is what it was all about. And it's really disgusting, actually, that we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot in so many ways by the fact that, some very charismatic people, as I mentioned, sort of made a kind of convincing argument based on hate towards, immigrants. And yeah, it's really, unbelievable in some ways that ever happened, but it did.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think we need some more big pussy energy personally.
Yes.
We'll pick it.
I
Yeah.
loved a little cat paw. That was great.
Yeah,
Also, another favorite was Tell Me Something True.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It almost seemed like it was inspired by a vacation or a night out, that whole video.
so we actually filmed that video like in the pub that we live behind. So
Okay.
yeah, we live behind the pub, and like we went in there to film it, and the locals absolutely loved it.
Oh, there's one on the start, isn't there?
Yeah.
At the start of the video.
Yeah, they just couldn't get enough of like coming over to ask us what we were doing. But yeah, the guy that runs the pub is really, really kind and let us like go in the pub to film it. And yeah, it was fun to do, wasn't it? Yeah.
I like the acoustic guitar part. I thought that was
Yeah.
that was a good idea. You know, it really fits into the song really well.
And it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
set out, you
It
know.
breaks it out. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. No, it's really
Arrangement.
fun to do, and it's like fun as a song to play. And it is really like of two halves, that song. And when we play it live, we actually kind of bring back the fast part at the end and
Yeah.
give people one last chance to dance, and like people kind of swing their partner and all of that sort of stuff, which is really fun.
Oh, so the horns at the end, very
Oh,
black
yeah.
metal, by the way.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
Where did that come from? And it was during that kind of that trippy part. Where it's
Yeah,
kind of like,
I think we'd been watching a TV show actually that had yeah, like a TV show that had like this kind of character that had like a kind of skull face and would come and talk to the main character in this TV show and would sort of, tell him things in a dream. And so
Okay.
I just associated that with a kind of dream-like state, I guess. So yeah, a little
Very
prop
cool.
to kind of just throw in something a little bit uncanny, I guess.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
we play our
Let's
game.
play our game.
All
Yeah.
right. Have you gotten to our game?
No, I don't know
No.
about the game.
All right. So I have 100 questions in front of me. So usually if it's one person, I'll have one person pick 5, but there's 2 of you. So I want you each to pick 3 numbers that will respond to 3 questions you will answer.
So 3 numbers between 1 and 100.
Okay. 3 each.
Yeah.
Yep.
3
Yeah.
each. Okay.
Any
I'll
number
go-
between
I'll go for 15, 40, and 71.
Okay. 10, 20, and 100.
30.
100. 100.
On the other show, the bands always fight over. I wanted 66. I wanted 77.
Oh,
I
okay.
wanted
Yeah, I didn't even
13.
think of that.
Like they want the evil numbers, you know.
Right.
So we have to keep changing them.
Yeah, I have to keep changing the
Yeah.
questions. 'cause
Anyway.
otherwise it gets we always answer the same ones. All right, Cass, you go first. Did you ever binge on a streaming show, and which one was it?
Oh, this is terrible. Gossip Girl.
Ah, okay.
I can love Gossip Girl. It's just like, and now it's so like you realize when you watch it back, it's so problematic. But yeah, I loved that at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a guilty
That's
kind of pleasure.
You're like, I'll just watch one, and then next, and you've been watching TV for 3 hours, you know. Yeah.
Just so addictive.
It's funny. I'll put on whenever I'm putting together furniture or something. Like I'll put ID channel on, and it's all
true crime.
true crime stuff. And if Stace has been gone for a while and it's dark, I'll start to get kind of creeped out. I'll start to be like, was that
Yeah.
the cat? Is somebody here? You know, like, so I have to stop after a while. I
Gotta
put
be
something a little
careful.
perkier on. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll flip us both out, like, because I'll forget he's down here and I'll come down to do laundry. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it-
Yeah,
And, you know,
that's a jump scare waiting to happen, isn't
exactly.
it?
Jump scare waiting to happen.
Yeah.
All right, Cash, you pick number 40. Have you ever done volunteer work?
Yeah. Yeah, during the pandemic, I was a volunteer actually, because so I'm a wedding photographer, like for my job.
Okay.
And so I couldn't work during the pandemic because there was like nothing on. So yeah, I was a volunteer at like a food bank sort of thing when I was when it was a pandemic. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I was sort of volunteering. I worked for a restaurant, and when we started, they let us do carry out only. They said, you can come back and run carry out the cars, but we can't pay you.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we all just split tips every night, you know.
Yeah.
It was
Did you get
something to
tips?
do.
Yeah.
It was something to
Wow.
do.
Okay.
My mother made a big deal that she was going to volunteer and feed the homeless for Thanksgiving one year. She didn't last 2 hours. She couldn't get along with anybody else there.
Oh no.
They kicked her out. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Caspic 71. What's your hometown famous for?
Oh, a really terrible thing, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's famous for like, no, it's famous for three things. So one is like a terrible murderer that like had like, yeah, was like a really bad like murderer. And then two for it has like a cathedral that was used in a location for Harry Potter.
Oh,
And three, it's home to the cheese rolling. So yeah, are you familiar with the cheese roll?
no. Yeah.
No, okay. Well, you must look it up after this. So yeah, like my hometown is Gloucester. That's where we grew up. And basically they get a double Gloucester cheese and they throw it down this really, really tall hill, and then everyone goes like running after the cheese.
Oh, I did see that. Remember
Yeah, it's very
it's
famous.
like it was like all weird sporting events, and that came up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the nice thing it's famous for.
Cheese chasing.
It said something. Dr. Foster. That's why we
Dr. Foster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Rain.
Yeah.
We interviewed this Australian band last week, and we asked the same question, and he goes, "Bon Scott's buried here," and I'm like, knocked it right out of the park on that one.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're not going to top that, you know. So yeah.
All right, Josh is up. I apologize for this first question, although it applies to my job almost every day. Have you ever had to tell someone that they smell?
No.
No, never done that.
There's quite a few people that, you know, some people I've worked with that have been quite smelly,
Mm.
but like I'm just too polite, so I just keep it to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let them stink out the place. Yeah, I don't think I've told anyone that they
I
smell.
don't even think I have either. I wouldn't
No.
have
No, I
that.
haven't either. No.
Maybe it's like a
Yeah.
British thing as well that
Mm.
like such things.
Mm.
Yeah.
We get all kinds of patients, and you get the kind that smell like they've been bathing in cannabis, you know, that we actually have to spray down the exam room, or they smell like cigarettes, or worse, they've had an accident and they're just gonna go with it.
Yeah, nice.
Oh.
Because they're from a
Oh.
nursing home or something like that, you
And
know.
I'm just always like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we're just gonna hose down the exam room and we're done.
Yeah, I didn't understand when they started legalizing pot. I didn't understand what I was smelling, like walking around. I thought everybody was boiling cabbage. It's just like, why is everybody eating cabbage?
Smells
Yeah,
like cabbage.
duh, you know.
It's so crazy we have like a main road, you know, runs through town, and we jog a lot. And because of all the dispensaries, you just run through clouds of pot.
People love to sit in their car and just, yeah, it's
Right.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Hi, by the time I'm done. Great. Getting back to Josh, number 20. What are your opinions of kale?
Of kale,
Kale.
the food.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, we eat it quite a bit, don't we?
really.
Yeah, get it in the veg box.
Yeah, sort of like whack it in a stir fry. I wouldn't like. Not really a big fan of the people that like eat it in like smoothies.
Raw,
you know.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
It's a
But, like-
superfood.
Yeah,
I think
no.
the best thing to do with it actually is treat it like crispy fried seaweed. So like loads of salt, some 5-spice on it, roast it in the oven. It's
That
delicious.
sounds pretty good.
The only way I got him to eat it is I hid it in mashed potatoes.
Mhm.
That works.
Then he ate it.
Yeah.
All right, and you went with 100. Who was the worst teacher you ever had, and why?
Am I allowed to name names? So, like, they're probably not
Yeah,
going to watch.
I don't
are they?
think-
No, you don't name names, but just, you know.
Yeah, I had quite a few bad ones.
You had some terrible teachers actually.
They were like, there's a few sadistic ones at
Mm.
my school that, you know, they sort of wished that they could still beat the shit out of the kids, but they weren't allowed anymore. But they would get you with mental,
Mental torture.
abuse. Yeah, there was a few actually. They were all quite equally as bad as each other.
Yeah.
I can't really.
Yeah, I went to Catholic school. I had nuns. The nuns didn't like, I would just be walking by in the hall, and they knew they could hurt you without making a mark. They'd grab my sideburn and go, "Mr. Marchman, are we behaving today?" Like, ow, 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 ow.
Wow.
Just don't leave a mark.
Yeah, they weren't that bad.
Pretty sadistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both had the same teacher in high school, and he was a gym teacher for a while, and he turned into a math teacher. And he would be doing algebra, and then he'd be like, "Wait, that's not right," and we'd all have to help him, through the.
He'd get stuck.
So, how did you kind of come to collaborate with Slab for your little bonus track?
So yeah, Slab are just are another band like that are kind of on the scene in Manchester, and got to know them, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw them at a local gig.
Yeah.
But I guess the side to that is well, we're both kind of really into post rock as well. So obviously none of our stuff doesn't really come out like that. There's a bit of post rock influence on some of the tracks. And when we first started Sewer Cats, we thought actually we might be a post rock band because Cass hadn't done vocals and just see what happens. But as it turned out, we just accidentally turned into a punk band. So yeah, I guess I just like that type of music. So we just thought it'd be interesting to do stuff with them.
What are some of your favorite post rock, bands or albums?
Well, Mogwai, obviously.
Yeah.
And Godspeed are probably my two favorites.
Okay, cool.
So you've been playing out a lot. Did you have recently around? Did you have any best and worst memories from your recent stint of all September and October?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Manchester show was hard to beat, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah, that was amazing.
The venue, people were kind of crowd surfing and sort of doing pyramids and stuff. And in the venue, they very famously have this kind of piece of the ceiling that keeps on falling down. So at one point there was someone going into the mosh pit with tape and some scissors so that they could fix this part of the ceiling. And you just think, what could go wrong? You go into the mosh pit with some
You were
scissors.
bringing the house down.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You were bringing the house down.
Silly part of the venue because an energetic gig, it always breaks because people are crowd surfing, they grab onto it and pull it off every time.
It breaks every time. Yeah. So that's a quite memorable one from Manchester. Yeah.
I don't know if you have this in Europe, but in the States, when we go to festivals, the kids now, when they're crowd surfing, they're also filming it. Do you have that? Have you seen that?
Not seen that. No.
Yeah. As they're crowd surfing, this is because it's all about the Instagram feed.
Of course.
So
yeah,
I can't imagine that. I mean, when I crowd surfed in the 90s, I came home with bruises all over my ass. That's I just wanted to survive and not have any broken bones.
This was at Maryland Death Fest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sea of people, and I'm like,
they all have their phones going in.
I've not seen that yet, but I'm sure I will.
Well, you guys are more mature than we are over here in the States. A little more real than we are. That's got to be amazing to play in Manchester with all the history of the Cult and Stone Roses and Siouxsie and all. It's so great. You have such a great heritage, So
yeah, we really do, and it's just brilliant. Yeah.
We never have it's over here. If it's built in the 1800s, we're like, wow, that's old.
Yeah, we think things are old if they're from the 70s.
Whereabouts are you two?
We're in Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay, cool.
We're about in the middle of the East Coast, kind of south of New York, south of Philly, north of Richmond, and DC. DC's below us.
Have you guys been out to the States, or are you planning on it, or?
We've been to New York, and you've been to Colorado, haven't you?
Yeah, but not with music.
But not for music.
Not for music. Okay.
Just for laughs.
Yeah. Well, this was great.
Yeah, well, we hope to get you over here someday. Sprints was here not too long ago, so we have a couple little venues around here. Although maybe you could, and then bigger sites. I love the smaller shows. We saw Green Lung; they came over, and we were
Yeah, that was
sold
great.
out at the
Yeah,
Metro. It was
Green Lung was
awesome.
great. Yeah.
So we hope to get you guys over here. I'll wear my shirt when it comes.
Oh yeah, it's on its way to you. So
Okay.
yeah.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.